it's your girl Nancy Red, and this is Season 3 of Mompreneurs on MadameNoire, where we celebrate beautiful Black entrepreneurs who are also amazing moms. Each week, I'm chatting with my guests about their businesses, their families, their inspiring journeys, and incredible advice. Now, today's mompreneur, alongside her hubby, has built a dance fitness empire that has really brought a lot to our society. Everyone loves them. They've helped people lose over 1 million collective pounds with vibrant fitness routines. They've got nearly 1 million followers on YouTube, over 200 million views on social. They've got the You Can Move app, and also they've got Just Move Supplements, which is the first and only Black-owned supplement manufacturing company in the country. And that's a big deal. So this is really cool to talk about. But she's also so much more, because before having kids, she was an independent artist. You may have seen her on The Voice. She has worked with everyone from CeeLo to Miguel to the Grammy Award-winning producers and songwriters who've worked with Usher, Nicki Minaj, Rick Ross, Jay-Z, so many more. We cannot wait to talk with Keaira LaShae. She is here with us today. Welcome, Mama.
Hi, what an intro, Nancy.
Well, what a mama. You're amazing. Do you feel like you've accomplished a lot? Do you feel...
When I listen to intros like that, yes.
I know, right? Because sometimes it feels like we're all bogged down. And, you know, in the process of just trying to make it, you forget all of the cool things you do along the way, because you have been hustling, girl.
Yes, for a long time. And yeah, I feel like I've lived so many different lives, you know, before now, and I still have so much more to do. But yeah,
exactly.
When you say it like that, yes, I definitely feel like I've accomplished a lot. So thanks for that.
Well, thank you for being here. That's the beauty of it. And you are an inspiration to so many. But before we get too much into the mompreneurship, let's talk about who in your life makes you a mompreneur. Who's in your household?
So I have 3 beautiful little girls, all girls, send help. 3, 6, and 10. They're Kobe is my 3-year-old, Amari is my 6-year-old, and Paige is my 10-year-old. So yes, I'm a mommy of 3 beautiful little girls.
Oh, and you don't just have a high school sweetheart. You have a junior high school sweetheart, right?
Yes, my hubby. I've been in love and infatuated with this man since I was a kid, you know, like a child, really. Like 13, I fell in love with him. I wasn't able to date yet. However, yeah, I've had a crush on him since forever. We've been together since junior high school.
That's so sweet, because you know, and you, it's good that you met him in junior high, because you graduated at 16. You didn't have time for these school streets. You had career goals.
I had things to do. I needed to get up out of there. And when I found out I could leave school early, like graduate early, I was out. Yeah, it wasn't for me.
And so I laugh because usually I ask which came first, motherhood or entrepreneurship, but I already know the answer in your case.
Definitely entrepreneurship. Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting because you right now are known as a fitness guru, which is amazing. But it used to kind of just be a side aspect of who you were. You've always been fit, you've always been into fitness, but you've lived a bunch of different lives. Your entrepreneurship, what would you say was the beginning of you becoming an entrepreneur?
Oh, wow. I mean, way back when I started doing hair in school, I remember braiding my teacher's hair during class. I know that's not appropriate because I'm supposed to be learning. However, I went right into, can you put a charger on here, babe? I went right into doing hair. Sorry. I went right into doing hair, and I found out that I was really good at it. So I said, okay, well, I'll start with that. I can do hair after school. And I went into cosmetology school. Thank you. And that was my first taste of entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Okay, so this is hilarious because usually we talk about in entertainment triple threats, people who can sing, dance, and act. But you over here, you went to cosmetology school, you are a fitness guru, you do dancing, you are a singer-songwriter. I mean, come on, girl. Like, this is a lot that you have done.
But you know what? I feel like all of that goes together, right? So when I got into doing hair, I've always loved to make people feel good about themselves. That's one of my biggest passions. And so I feel like everything that I do has something to do with building someone else's confidence and making other people feel great about themselves. So whether it's hair, whether it's fitness, getting them in shape, whether it's supplements that help them to do whatever they need for their health and fitness lifestyle, I feel like everything goes hand in hand. And then the music, I love, making people feel good about themselves and confident. And that's what my music does as well. So I feel like it all goes together. It
It's
might sound
definitely
like a lot, but I feel like it all goes together.
Well, it does all go together. It's been going together for quite some time. And
Right.
and at what point, because right now you are focused on fitness. You are focused on fitness, you're focused on eating healthily, you're focused on healthful living.
Mhm.
At what point did we go from hair and singing songwriting to the fitness world?
You know what? I did a video. A lot of people asked me how I got in shape. How was I in shape? And I said, you know what? I dance all the time, like doing my shows and stuff. I wanted to be in shape, so I always loved dancing. So I would dance like 8 hours a day, and happily, right? So I said, okay, well, let me share that with people that are asking me, how's my tummy so flat? But how's I just dance. So I shared a video online and it hit 16 million views. And I said, okay, well, maybe that's a fluke, right? Because that's strange, right? People loved it. So then they would ask me more questions. Hey, how can I get my legs strong? And I'm like, okay, well, I'll show them. And I just ended up showing them tons of dance videos. I got really popular doing that. And I was still doing my music on the side, and I would put my music with my fitness videos. And that's how a lot of people were able to hear both or see both. And one day though, I got tired of depending on other people to make my dreams come true. So I said, okay, to my husband, I said, we won't ever have to depend on someone else to make it happen for us. I noticed that our fitness was killing. And I said, okay, well, this is where I'm thriving at. So as much as I love music, this is where I have to go because this is what's paying the bills right now. And it was such an interesting twist and turn. I did not expect that. I've always been into fitness, but I didn't expect to get really popular doing it. I had no idea. So that's when I pivoted. I said, okay, well, I'm doing really good in this. Let me just see where this takes me.
And this
And here we are.
was 12, 13 years ago,
This was 12 years ago. Yeah, before Peja. Yeah, before my baby, my first
which is
child.
which is wild because when you think about
Mm-hmm.
it, like you went to school to be a
Mm-hmm.
cosmetologist, right?
Yeah,
You did the work you have to do to be an independent artist, which is not easy. But
at
with
all.
fitness, did you have any formal training?
No, I was just really good at dancing. And I ended up getting certifications for sure. I ended up getting certified for all of the different types of fitness that I ended up doing. But before then, no, I thought gyms were for rich people. I had no idea that somebody like me could help other girls like me get in shape. No idea.
But that's the beauty of it because if there's anything that we need is people like you who we relate to. Like one of the best things, if you look back at your YouTube videos, you have videos that are like how to twerk.
Yeah,
And it's basically fitness twerking. And you've
exactly.
got like 9 million views, and everyone's like, this is great. I did this for my husband's birthday. This is what helped me lose 15 pounds in two
Yeah,
months. Like
yeah.
I think this is the content we want and need to see because of what you
Mhm.
said. A lot of people think fitness is still not for us, but
Mhm.
you are proving them wrong
Yeah.
inside and out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I like to make fitness fun because I feel like if it's fun, you'll keep coming back. And it also does so much more for us than our bodies, right? Than looking good. We love that, right? But our mental, especially nowadays, the mental health is very, very, very important. So I felt like doing that, working out with a friend, I felt like it was working out with a friend, working out with me, laughing, joking. You know, you get a word of encouragement. You get a word of like, hey sis, did you get up today and did you move your body? So I do love the fact that so many people can relate to me and the way that I do fitness.
And how has motherhood shaped your business? Because you started everything before motherhood. You
Mhm.
solidified who you were. But
Yeah.
as you know, motherhood and fitness, it's a little complicated. And here you
Girl.
are, three babies in.
Girl. Honestly, after my first child, after Peja, I I think I was the heaviest with her when I was pregnant with her. After I had her, I was trying to get back in shape, doing my own videos. And I knew that the videos worked because so many people said that they worked, and they worked on me beforehand, but never after. This is my first time having a baby, so I don't know if this is going to get me back in shape. I did the workouts, and I would cry on the floor because I couldn't finish them. And one day I was looking at myself, and I on the camera, and me on camera said, "You got this. You can do that." Just talking to me, and I'm like, "Oh my God, this is why so many people work out with me." It's encouraging. It's motivating. I cried. I laughed. I tried to look at myself as if I wasn't myself, if that makes sense, and got in the best shape and got pregnant again. But I'll say this, as far as motherhood and entrepreneurship, it definitely is different. Like, you have to switch up a lot of things. Your time is not your time anymore. Your energy is not your energy anymore. So you definitely have to make different, decisions when it comes to building your brand with children. It's not easy because they require so much of your attention, and so does a business. So the balancing aspect of that is tough, but it's
But it's
possible.
no surprise that when you started getting children, so the business was you. I mean, that's one of the things that a lot of mompreneurs have an issue with. It's like, okay, I had to cook this dinner. I had to work this job. I have to get these kids to school and get them dressed and everything. How can I do a business? And one of the
Hmm.
things that it seems that you did once the children came into the picture is you worked on pivoting to things that didn't require your video to be the only
Yeah.
source of income generation.
Yeah. Also, I'm very, very blessed because I do have such an incredible amount of support. My husband is such an incredible support. He even set the cameras up and stuff for me just now. He's like, "You need to sound great. You need to, So I have that support, and I have the support of my family. So that's helped a lot. But I included them in, I'm very transparent. I'm an open book when it comes to my community and my audience. So I'm like, hey, I have kids now. They're going to come work out with me. Sometimes they're going to be loud, hopefully not too bad, but again, that helped me out even more because I was not trying to be perfect. I was just being me. So the authenticity of myself, of me being a mother, getting back in shape, trying to eat healthy, trying to balance, the people could see that and could relate to that as well. So it really helped my business. It really helped me in entrepreneurship. They're like, okay, I want to get it back in shape. It's hard for her too, but she's doing it. I want to eat healthy. It's hard for her too because she has all this going on. If she can do it, I can do it. And so the kids really helped me, honestly.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic. And that's
Yeah.
why you're here right here as an inspiration for people who are trying to figure out how they can figure this out and do something for themselves or increase the scope of their own business. Because
Mhm.
again, you're not doing hair anymore. You're not
Right.
singing songwriting anymore. You're not dancing anymore, but you've got the whole fitness empire, but it's multifaceted. So talk to us
Mhm.
about what I like to call your hustle hierarchy. What makes up the bulk of your income generating efforts these days? Because you've got the YouTube, you've got the app, you've got supplements. What else you
Mhm.
got, girl?
Girl, I have a clothing brand as well, but
Oh, good.
again, everything goes hand in hand to me. You know, I would say the bulk though of my income right now would be the Just Move supplements, the proteins, the fat burners, the energy drinks, and things like that. That would be the bulk, and then the online gym, our fitness app, is the bulk of the income right now. Yeah.
Okay. And the really cool thing about supplements is the fact that that's a very complicated business. You all are very different from other supplement companies. Let's talk a little bit about why. What separates you out aside from being the first and only Black owned
Mhm.
manufacturer? That in
Manufacturer.
particular, what's
Yes,
the
yes,
difference?
yes, yes,
Why
yes.
is the word manufacturer so important when talking about your supplement business?
Because we make it. We make it in
Doesn't
house. So we
everybody? Here's
we
the thing for people who don't know. Doesn't everybody
no,
make their own supplements?
no, not at all. So we've formulated our products and we make them in our manufacturing space. So a lot of things that a lot of times people don't understand that some people white label. And if you don't know what
Yes.
white labeling is, it's basically you find a product that you like and you put your name on it. That's basically it. A lot of times, unfortunately, people don't have a clue what's in their supplements, especially if they're white labeling. They don't know the ingredients that's in there. They just know, I like this product. I think it tastes decent, and I don't have to work as far as like creating it. I put my name on it. So for us, we formulate the actual product. We do testing. We do all the things, and then our flavors are, our flavors are chef's kiss. They're very authentic to my childhood, growing up in the South with my grandmother. All my favorite desserts that we used to make on Saturday mornings, like banana pudding, blueberry muffin, apple pie, chocolate cake, buttercream cupcake, grandma's lemon pound cake. I mean, we have so many incredible flavors. I think that's another reason why we stand out. We're not doing your plain vanilla and chocolate. Like, we're doing chocolate cake, or we're doing a lemon pound cake. We're not doing a banana flavor. We're doing banana pudding, and it actually tastes like what we say it tastes like, So it was a while before we got those right. Sweet potato pie. Nobody has a sweet potato pie protein. I haven't seen it.
Well, now you have.
Right.
But see,
Right.
it is not easy because it's not like you grind enough of sweet potato and putting it in there.
Mhm.
This is a very complicated business. You're creating something shelf stable
Yes.
that's going to sit there and go into somebody.
Right.
That's a lot of risk. That's a lot of effort.
Responsibility.
It's also a lot of money. How much did you have
Oh
to
my God.
invest in
Oh my God.
these flavors before you
Oh.
could even get to market?
Oh my gosh. It makes my stomach hurt just thinking about it. Was our money. 1.2 is what we put into manufacturing. So we had to get the machines, $1.2 million. We
And
had to
I
get
was
the
gonna cut you.
machine.
I was gonna laugh. I was like, somebody listening to say, "Does she mean $12,000?" No, you mean your own cash because you
Yeah.
bootstrapped this.
Yes. Yes.
Like this is like cash coming out your retirement, your kids'
Yes.
college fund.
Yes.
This is money that is actually meaning something to you that
Yes.
you used on something that you didn't know if it was going to work or not.
Say it louder for the people in the back. I had no idea. Well, I figured it would work to a certain extent because I knew that I wasn't going to put anything out that wasn't quality.
Right.
However, I didn't know how difficult it was going to be. I
You
didn't
didn't know
know
how many formulas,
exactly.
for example, to get the sweet potato
Oh,
formula.
oh my
How
gosh.
many
How
rounds?
many
Because each
times?
round is thousands and thousands of dollars. So
Yeah.
how many rounds? The reason nobody has a sweet potato formula is because how many rounds did it take you to get the sweet potato formula?
That's a really good question. I would have to look at our, formula notebook, but I want to say we had to do it at least 10 times.
That's crazy.
Crazy. And not only that, not only do you have to get the flavor right, but you also have to get the texture right. Right? Like, it's not just like you said, it's not just throwing stuff in a mixer and voila. It's not like that at all. At least that's what I thought in the beginning. I'm thinking, oh, just put this should be good. No. No. So we definitely, I think when we first manufactured like our first round of actual product, I want to say that was about 40 grand, and we messed it up. It
And you were
wasn't
so
good.
bummed, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
you kept on, you kept on. And
Kept
that's
on.
the thing. Many people would say, I've already burnt 40 grand. Maybe this
Yeah.
is not meant for me. But
Right.
no, you were just like, all right, we're just gonna pretend, we're just gonna put that aside.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew that we were going to have some trial and error, but at the same time, I also knew that once we get this right, once we get it right, it's going to go off, especially for our community. We don't have something like this. We're not anywhere in this space. Like, we're not in this supplement space at all. If we are, we're getting it made from somewhere else, but we're not in this manufacturing space. So that's why it's important to mention manufacturing. We're not in that space at all.
Well,
At
it's
all.
the chicken and the egg because in order to get into the manufacturing space, you have to A, have the interest,
Yeah.
and B, have the cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Definitely.
here you are at this great Venn diagram right in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
this is your industry, this is your interest, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still very hard. Like what were some of the biggest surprises when you are because to be the first
Man,
means that you also get to be the first to have all of these different challenges.
exactly. So some of the challenges that definitely tariffs.
Oh, in the news now, of course.
Yep. So definitely tariffs. We had no idea, the machines, if we're buying machines, that we have to pay so much on the tariffs for them.
So
That was
essentially, like if something
tough.
is $100,000, you think you're paying that, and then you get hit before you can actually unpack it with what percent?
$25,000.
Like 25% more
Yeah.
that just shows up. Like, oh, sorry, this is what you
Yes.
owe before you could even take it off of the
Exactly. That's
ship.
exactly right. And not only that, you have that, and then you have your customs, you have your everything else. You have maintenance on machines. You have to hire personnel to work the machines. You have to hire, we had to hire a chemist. I think we had 2 to 3 different chemists to see, which works for us. Um, Ooh, also FDA, making sure you have all your certifications. That stuff is not cheap. All the testing is not cheap. We want to get into the testing for athletes. That's going to be about $100,000. Things like that. Everything costs money. And so that was the biggest surprise as far as like how much things cost and how much trial and error that we were going to have to go through. You think it's easy, but it ends up being super challenging on all aspects.
But like childbirth, it's painful. But once they're out, here we are, and
Here we
everyone
are.
loves the product,
Yeah.
and it's unlike anything else on the market.
Yes.
How do you think this is shifting the opportunities for not just you, but people coming after you?
Yes. So I'm hoping that I'm inspiring people to get into the supplement game and the manufacturing game for sure, because then we can have more, more a foothold in the industry. Um, But we're revolutionizing the way that people look at protein. That's one. We're definitely changing the way that people see health and fitness, or nutrition, I would say. That's a big thing in our community, because it doesn't matter how healthy something is. If it don't taste good, we don't want it. We're like, yeah, no, we're good. So I'm like, you know what? Let me create something that's enjoyable for us and something that is easy to maintain. Like, I don't know if you know how much protein you're supposed to get per day, right? Especially after 30, our muscle mass starts to decrease, right? Our strength starts to decrease a small percentage every year after 30. We don't understand how important protein is. And so for me, I want to teach people this is the importance of these different vitamins, these different things in your nutrition, but also I want to make it enjoyable for you. So I think we're revolutionizing the way that people see protein, the way that people see healthy nutritional supplements. And then I'm definitely hoping that we're inspiring people to uh, step out into this industry, because we don't want to be the only ones. We don't
Oh,
want
and
to.
also now the fun thing about it is you've got your system in place,
Yes.
and the beauty of it, for example, like at a lot of businesses, the way you are able to work with these machines and pay for all these machines is you help other people make their stuff. Is that something that's
Yes.
in the pipeline as well? Now that you have your
Absolutely.
awesome situation, is
Mhm.
bringing other people into the fold part of your business model?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait to be able to manufacture for other brands. And that's definitely like probably in 2025, we'll be visiting that opportunity to connect with so many other brands and make sure that, like, when you're manufacturing with us, I want people to say, oh, okay, you manufactured with Price Nutraceuticals. I know that it's quality. I know that it's clean. I know that it's tasty. I know that it works. I want to have that energy towards people. I want people to have that energy towards us when they work with us.
I love it. And then there are people who they don't want to have a business; they just want to have banana pudding protein shake.
Right. And that's okay.
What has been your biggest breakthrough, like your aha moment where you realized that yes, you know what, we pushed on and this made sense?
Mm. Honestly, about a month ago, I was about to close the doors to this business. So, and it's so funny because it wasn't from the lack of success. It was from having a lot of success and having a lot of growth and not being able to keep up with it. So, what I mean by that is it's a very pricey business. right? It's not cheap. You know, if I'm getting rice protein for a few runs, that's going to cost me at least 10, 20 grand. That's one ingredient, right? So
Yeah.
having
And
so many
and then you have the
people,
problem with, that's what people don't realize. The first batch sells out, but then you have to do a bigger batch. But you have to prepay
exactly,
for all the ingredients, the manufacturing, and
exactly,
all this stuff. And there's still no guarantee that that's going to do
exactly.
as well as the first one. What if everybody got the first batch and they decided they didn't want a second?
Yeah, all of those things are something that you have to think about. And for us, though, luckily, we had the opposite problem of what a lot of businesses have. We had a lot of demand and not enough product, right? And like you said, it costs money to get these products. It costs money to buy your ingredients. And if I'm doing, I got to spend 10,000 here for rice protein, 20,000 here for coconut powder, and 20,000 for pea protein. That's already 50 grand. That's only 3 ingredients. We're not talking about, the sweet potato pie, the sweet potato powder, actual real sweet potatoes. We're not talking about testing. We're not talking about any of that. Right. So for us, it was more so like, okay, we're growing at such a fast pace that we can't keep up with it. And the capital, we weren't getting enough capital. We weren't, we had spent our own money in the beginning because we were too young of a business to get capital at that time. So it was just this crazy time where I'm thinking, okay, I may have to close my doors. I ended up doing a video online and I had no idea what it was going to do. I had no idea what it was going to do. And we ended up collecting over $250,000 in less than 5 days, in about 5 days, I think. So um, we were able to, and 250 is a lot to some people. And it is a lot. Don't get me wrong. It is a lot, but it's still a very expensive business. So that's going to help us to get a lot of things done, but we still have to keep growing and keep making a lot of money so that we can continue to build the business.
I love it. Was that in what was the 250,000? Was that in donations or was that in pre orders?
Everything, both. Yeah. So some people donated and purchased. Some people just donated. Some people just purchased. And with that, we had over 7,000 orders. So
Wow.
imagine having to purchase product for 7,000 orders, ingredients, and make sure you have the proper packaging for the 7,000 orders. And then you have, what else happened? 7,000 orders. Oh, you have brand new people that don't understand, you know, where's my stuff in 2 days? It's like, yo, y'all just bombarded us. And it was great, but y'all just bombarded us with 7,000 orders with a small family owned business. So just give us a second. So we were dealing with that. But I think, to me, to answer your question, that to me was a turning point, because it showed me that while we are important to our community, they weren't trying to hear it. They were like, you're not closing any doors.
Oh.
What doors do you think you're closing? Not with my favorite protein, not with my favorite, fat burner or whatever. They really rallied behind us, rallied around us, and they made sure that this brand was appreciated. They showed us the support that we've always showed them, shown them. So that was a turning point for me. I'm like, okay, we're doing something right. We're making a difference in our community, and that's what matters to us.
Absolutely, and you keep going, and it'll be great to see, because there is. I think one of the things that's really hard is there is no business that's not going to have a difficult time. And when you look at your kids, what keeps you going? What are you hoping comes from this for your family and hopefully their families?
Oh, I definitely want to build generational wealth, but not just generational wealth. I want to build cultural wealth, because this is only the beginning, right? So protein powders, this is only the beginning. We're going to get in, words are very powerful. So we're going to get into foods as well. We'll be working with farmers and, Black farmers, because they don't get enough support, right? So we'll be working with a lot of farmers. We'll be working with a lot of, grocery stores and things like that to create cultural wealth and show people that we can do it too, right? Can you think of one Black owned business that is 100 years old?
a couple, but not they're standalones, right? And I think it's so funny because we just saw like the founder of Home Depot pass away,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And I know the goal for us is to have some Home Depots, is to have some Walmarts, is to have some some brand recognition that is synonymous with Black culture.
Exactly. And we don't have that.
Understandably. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right. Right.
and which is
Right.
why it's important that, and I think what's great about you, which you're a good role model for, you're very transparent. It's really
Thank you.
hard. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And, you know, you've been on the internet for so long, which I think is very helpful, right? And so
Mhm.
you have no qualms with acknowledging, I cannot do this alone. I need your support.
Absolutely.
What is your advice for other people? Because we remember we had the Kickstarter days, which, it's
Yeah.
still around, but it's not the same. What is your advice
Yeah.
for other mompreneurs who also want to do something? They have goals, but they're terrified of acknowledging them publicly, or, and in
Yeah.
particular, asking for support.
Well, we need to get back to uh, community, right? Where it's okay to be vulnerable with your community. It's like we need to be each other's safe space. So I would say make sure that you acknowledge what's going on, because if you don't, nobody can help you if we don't know what's going on, right? So like if I would have just closed my doors, I didn't give my community an opportunity, I wouldn't have given my community an opportunity to stand up for me and help me out. So closed mouths don't get fed is such a true statement. If you don't speak up, nobody will know the issues that you're having and that you need assistance with. So I would say my main thing is speak up. Don't be afraid to be transparent. It's okay to be vulnerable, and it's okay to be authentic. It's okay to not have it all together all the time. To not, I think social media really kills authenticity nowadays. Like everybody wants to look successful only. They've never had an issue in their lives. They've never had a problem. That's what everybody wants to look like, but that's not reality, right? Like, yes, I have a very successful business. Yes, I have, a business that is a multi-million dollar business. However, this multi-million dollar business is in trouble right now. And I have to say something so that I don't just close the doors on you guys. So I would say speak up. Speak up. I really, I feel like I really inspired a lot of other business owners to say, oh my God, me too. I'm dealing with the same thing, or I'm struggling too, but I was too embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed, because the people that are going to help you, they're going to support you regardless, right? The people that you should be, the people that make you feel embarrassed, they're usually the ones that aren't doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Because other than that, everybody else understands. It's like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, let me help you out. I don't want to see you fail. I don't want to see, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I understand. So usually it's the negative Nancy's, it's the,
Hey,
you know what I mean?
I don't like
Hey,
that
well,
phrase. No,
yeah,
but I
nice,
get it. I bet.
yeah, nice, Nancy.
No, I totally get my entire life has been fighting that. It's like the ladies who are nice who are named Karen. We are all in the same boat, you know.
Aw, yeah,
No, but you're totally right, and I think that's very helpful and inspiring because and when we look at people's stories, we tend to ignore like people will not hear that, and they
yeah,
will hear the multi-million dollar business, but all of the major businesses that we see homes mortgaged multiple times. I mean, there are like things lost in the fire, and you
absolutely.
just keep pressing on because if you don't, you can't make it to where you want to go. So,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
thing is, your biggest supporter is not someone on the internet, it's someone in your actual house, right? It's your husband.
yeah,
He's been there with you,
yes,
ride or die, your
yes,
biggest fan.
yes.
How do you keep the romance alive? Because you're business partners, and
Right.
yet you also are in love and you have these three kids. So clearly
Yes.
it's not too much of a problem.
Right. Right. I would say, we make it a point to have time for each other, make time for each other. Like we make a big point to have time for each other and to know how to shut work off. At first, I didn't know how to do that. And I was afraid to work together with my husband because I'm like, well, what if we don't know how to turn it off? We had to work really hard to, when we're done, we're done. You know what I mean? Like when we're on date night, don't talk about work. Let's not talk about that. I don't want to talk about machines right now. I don't want to talk about the formulas right now. It's about me and you. So it's definitely an effort to keep the spice, right? Like don't let the kids come in between date night. You know what I mean? Like Okay, your grandma gonna watch you because we have things that we have to do together, you know?
Like a great example is you're another role model in another way because you take care of yourself. It's not just taking care of
Mhm.
your business, but you really
Yeah.
are into self-care, not just with
Yeah.
health and fitness, but let's show everybody your nails. You know, and what
Yeah.
did you tell me before we began?
Oh, with all the things that I have going on, self care is crucial for me because I feel like I'm working all the time. Like it's 24 hours in a day. I'm a mommy a whole 24 hours, right? I'm a wife. I'm all these things, a business owner, and I'm like, okay, Key, you got to do something for yourself too, because if we work ourselves to the bone and not look good doing it, that can also be like sad for us. You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
yes, and also it creates a cycle. I am guilty because I'm a writer for the primary bulk of what I do, and
Mhm.
it's so easy just to sit in your pajamas and
Easy,
just, and that's
easy.
why I love this because I was like, at least I got to put my face on. Like,
Right. You know, right. And it makes you want to get up and do something else. I was just telling my grandmother, she's visiting right now, and I was just telling her yesterday I had on pajamas and I said, okay, I got to go get dressed because I got to work. And she's like, but you work from home. I was like, yeah, but I need to get dressed so that I feel like working. Because if I have this on, for me personally, I'm gonna feel like laying down. It's pajamas. I'm gonna feel like being cozy, watching a movie, especially with this weather. You know, let me get dressed. So I feel like self care is important. You know, it is.
another thing, if people want to go on a stroll on your social media, on your YouTube, one thing that people love is that you've often intermingled your wife life, your mommy
Mhm.
life, and your
Mhm.
fitness. You not only do
Absolutely.
maternity videos, you do mommy and me videos, but also my favorite, you've done some fitness videos that are still around that double as foreplay.
Yeah. Every year I would do Valentine's Day routines that you can do for your partner. Yeah. So you get a workout and you get a workout. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. And that's just
Yes.
one of the many ways that you connect with us in ways that other fitness opportunities that abound. There's tons of them out there.
Yeah.
But you just have a certain je ne sais quoi that very much speaks to our goals and personal needs.
Yeah, I just want to do something that I would enjoy too. You know what I mean? Like if I'm looking for a girl to work out with online, I want to work out with somebody that's fun, somebody that relates, somebody that gets me, you know, and I feel like I do. I'm a girl's girl for sure. I love people. I'm a people person. And so I think that you can see that and feel that through my any of my videos that I do, whether it's fitness, whether it's cooking or other content with my family. I just think it's like, okay, I can relate to her. That's like my cousin or that's like my big sister, you know? So
And your girls are right there in there with you.
yeah.
Now obviously the 3 and 6 year old are just
Whew,
living in their life, but the 10-year-old,
whew.
do you think that she's following in mommy's mamapreneurial
Absolutely.
footsteps?
Absolutely. So she drew up this, her and Amari, so Paige and Amari, that's my 10-year-old and my 6-year-old. They drew up this business plan for a a lemonade stand, right? And it's so funny because she drew it up. I love to draw my set. Like if I have an expo that I'm doing. I love to draw it up. That's one of my favorite things to do is create a drawing and then a mock up and then make it come to life. So she sees that all the time. And so she drew the actual lemonade stand in detail. She knew the colors she wanted. She knew the feel that she wanted. She knew that the seasons change and that lemonade is not going to, cold lemonade is not going to always be something that people want, especially in the wintertime if it's cold. So she's like, I want to change it up. I can turn it, it can be a two-sided situation. So I can have it bright and fun on one side. That's my summertime. And then on the other side, I can have it more fall, winter. And that's my, hot chocolates, my cocoa. And I'm just like, interesting. She reached out to my pops and she asked him to build her lemonade stand. She gave him the plan. She told me how much she would need for the ingredients. I was just like, this is interesting. Like,
How did
you
it make you
never know.
feel?
I felt like, thank God I'm doing something good because you never know. Kids watch you and they listen to you and they hear you, they can see everything, they notice everything. So I thought that was pretty cool, like seeing her make that come to life. Like she actually made it come to life. So seeing her, I filmed it. I never posted it, but I filmed them actually selling their lemonades and their snacks and stuff. She made it go from a piece of paper, planned it out, to executing it. So that made me feel really good because it shows that teaching them to follow through with things. That was really
I
cool. Yeah.
I love that. And I think
Yeah.
that's so great that she feels the autonomy, the agency to be able to do this. And she just
Yeah.
learned by watching mama.
Yes, and they homeschool, so they get to see us even more so than your average family because they're with us most of the time. I had to kick them out for this, but
That's
because I
amazing. I
didn't.
used to homeschool.
Well,
I laugh.
know.
I think homeschooling was the best thing I could have done. I laugh because I did it before COVID. And I remember I did it because I needed my son. I wanted him to feel empowered and I wanted him to
Yeah,
feel strong and not deal with a bunch of chaos he was dealing with in school.
yeah.
And what brings you to homeschooling? Because it's not like you don't have enough. Are you the person that's homeschooling or do you have a teacher?
Both. So
Oh my God. Because
me and my
like it's not like
husband.
you don't already have multiple businesses to run. You
I
also I refer to
know.
myself as Mommy Poppins. I had to stop working. I had to just say, all right, I guess this is my life now. I'm a
Right,
homeschool. But it
right.
was a glorious time. But
Yeah.
I couldn't have done a business and homeschool my son. I could not have
So
done that.
it's not the easiest thing. However, because we homeschool, they do have a schedule, right? Like they're done at noon pretty much. So I know, okay, if it's my day with the girls, then I know I'm not really doing anything until after noon, right? My hubby also teaches too, and my assistant that I have, she was a teacher. She is a teacher. So I was like, how about you come over here and
Okay, multitasking.
you know what I mean? And I'm like, how about you come over here and we take different days and so it works out. We definitely do it as a village, as a team. I'm not doing it by myself at all. At
I
all.
love it.
Yeah.
I'm a huge homeschool advocate. I think it's really
Yeah.
great, and you can't get those years back.
You can't, and you asked me what made me want to get into homeschool, basically. And I feel like the same thing as you. I wanted to empower my girls and I wanted to teach them things for their future. Like I thought it's important for them to know how to cook. It's important for them to know how to, know their finances. It's important for them a lot of people ask, well, where do they get to play and where do they get to, they have tons, especially now they have so many homeschool programs where, in communities, they're going to play right now. They're on a homeschool date with other kids that homeschool, so I wanted them to learn history, the correct history. I wanted them to, yeah, I like to protect them, like as their mommy. I know I can't be there forever, but during the time that I can, I want to. And then the time that I can spend with them while working and things like that is priceless. Like you said, you never get that time back. So
I love
that's
that.
just, yeah, that's some of the reasons why.
Amazing. Okay, well, our time is almost up, but I cannot let you leave without asking you my favorite segment. And it's
Okay.
called Mompreneurs Manifestation. And I ask all of our
Ooh.
guests, what's next? What are you trying to make happen? And how can we help to manifest it into the universe for you?
What's next? Oh, I love that. How sweet is that? Okay. So, uh, who? Okay. Well, one of the things that we're working on, this is a big deal. We're buying a farm in Tanzania so that we can, like I said, get into the food industry, right? So if you guys can help to manifest a successful farm and a successful transition into or addition into foods and creating more healthy options that are delicious for our community. So that's one of the things that you guys can help us to manifest.
That's amazing. How do you begin? Like, at what point? Like,
Oh my
where did
gosh.
who's negotiating Tanzanian farms? Like, where do you find yo? I'm looking for a farm. I got you.
Right, right,
I
right,
got
right.
you.
Honestly, you know what? I feel like, and this is just me, but I feel like when I'm walking in alignment with my purpose, things fall into my lap. I really genuinely feel like that. So I feel like when it's too tough, like things are going to be challenging, yes. But when it's too much of no, 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 no all the time, it's like never going to happen type energy. It's like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now? So with the whole Tanzania, they actually, when that whole thing happened, when I reached out to my community, letting them know about the doors, I got access. I gained access to so many different types of people that wanted to support. And part of those people were Tanzanian farmers. And they were like, well, we think that we could be of service to you guys. We think that we could be a great, team. Are you interested in farming? And I'm like, that is so weird. That's yes. Yes, we are. And so we've been dealing with them and just like learning so much about what we can grow and how long it takes and the quality and things like that. So we're supposed to be taking a trip out to Tanzania because we already love Africa, by the way.
Of course.
We already love, South Africa. We've never been to Tanzania. So we're taking a trip there and getting familiar with the farmland and everything. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's an amazing that
Yeah.
that goes in the top 5 mompreneur manifestations
That's crazy.
that
I
I've
know.
heard. Yo, we trying to buy a farm in Tanzania so we can get up on this like real food tip.
Yes. Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
You are amazing. Tell everyone where they can find your supplements, your app, everything, your clothing line, your shenanigans. You probably about to start a weave line. I don't know what you got going on.
Not necessarily. Oh, and we are going to be building, and we're working on building an app for people to shop Black, but it's going to be nothing like you've ever seen before. So we're working on that as well. So you guys can find me on Instagram. That is the easiest place because I have everything under one account. You can find all of my accounts under my personal account at Keaira LaShae, KeairaLashae. And you can also look us up at justmovesupplements.com. Check out our supplements there, our proteins, if you're looking for a delicious dessert in a cup, basically without the guilt. Check us out at justmovesupplements.com. And to maximize your results, make sure you work out with us at ifyoucanmove.com. You can download the app on Android or iOS, or you can just work out with us online at ifyoucanmove.com.
Why is it called If You Can Move?
Because I feel like if you can move, you can do anything, right? If you can move, you can dance. If you can move, you can yoga, stretch, flow. If you can move, you can jump in your way. So I feel like everyone can do these workouts. It's literally for everybody. If you can move your body, you can do something. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you for joining us. You are just a delight, and we're so proud of you. You're such an inspiration for just following your dreams and basically you done traded a paperclip into a Porsche. Like, you have built you've gone from like junior high hair to to just a few seconds on The Voice to some YouTube videos to all of these different things. Yeah. And what would you say is the mantra that kept you going all these years? Like when you just kept building. Don't be afraid to pivot.
Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to pivot. Be authentic. And if there is a problem and you have the solution, create it, right? Like, and don't be stingy with the solution, right? Like, I saw that people were looking for better tasting proteins. I said, okay, well, I'll create it. Why not? Right? So if you see a problem and you have the solution, go for it. Don't be afraid to pivot, and don't be afraid to be authentic and transparent.
I love it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't be afraid to dream big.
I know you should. This is great. Absolutely. Yeah. You should do more of just sharing your story because it's amazing and your family's great and we're excited to see what comes next. So thank you so much for being with us. And thank all of you for listening to and watching Mompreneurs. As a reminder, a new episode goes live each Monday on Urban One Podcast Network, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit urban1podcast.com to learn more. That's urban1podcast.com. Mompreneurs is brought to you by the Urban One Podcast Network and MadameNoire. Created, produced, and hosted by me, Nancy Red. Executive produced by Allison McGovna and Tanya Hoffler-Moore. Produced and edited by Jiminique Miller.